We'll see about that. Panopea. As far towards the evening sun as it is possible to travel, there is a place where the sea winds inland in a narrow twist. You are where Ethiopia meets Oceanus, the furthest land and the furthest sea. If you could fly above it, see it as the birds see it, this channel, which is not a river because it flows the wrong way, but you may see this as part of its magic, coils like a viper. You have flown past the Graiai, although you may not have noticed, as they keep to their cave to avoid stumbling on their rocky cliffs and falling into the wild sea. Would they survive such a fall? Of course. They're immortal. But even a god doesn't want to be battered between the waves and the rocks for all eternity. You have also sped past the home of the Gorgons, who live not so very far from the Graiai, their sisters. I call them sisters, but they have never met. They are connected, although they do not know or have long forgotten, by the air and the sea, and now also by you. You'll need to travel to other places too, Mount Olympus, of course, Libya, as it will come to be called by the Egyptians and later the Greeks, an island named Seriphos. Perhaps this seems too daunting a journey, but the place you have found yourself means you are already at the end of the earth, so you'll need to find your way back. You're not far from the home of the Hesperides, but they won't help you, I'm afraid, even if you could find them, which you can't. So that means the Gorgons. It means Medusa. Metis. Metis changed. If you had been able to see her in the moments before she realized the threat, you would have seen a woman. Tall, long-limbed, with thick, dark hair plaited at the back. Her large eyes were ringed with kohl. There was a quickness in the way her gaze seemed to fall on everything at once. Even when she was still, she was alert. And she had her defences, what goddess did not? But Metis was better prepared than most, even though she was not armed with arrows like Artemis or with thinly contained rage like Hera. And so when she sensed, rather than saw, that she was in danger, she changed into an eagle and flew high, the gentle south wind ruffling the feathers of her golden wings. But even with these sharp eyes, she could not see what it was that had made the short hairs pulling at the edge of her plait prickle when she was in human form. She circled in the air a few times, but nothing revealed itself to her, and eventually she flew down and settled on the top of a cypress tree, curving her muscular neck in every direction, just in case. She perched there, thinking. She dropped down from the high branches onto the sandy ground, her talons scratching small furrows in the dust. And then she was not an eagle anymore. Her hooked beak retracted, and her feathered legs disappeared beneath her, as one muscled body became another. Only the intelligence in the slit of her eyes remained constant. Now she slithered over the stones, a brown zigzag stripe along her dorsal scales, her belly the colour of pale sand. She flickered across the ground, as quickly as she had flown through the sky. And as she paused beneath a large prickly pear, she pressed her body into the earth, trying to feel the source of unease that she had not been able to spot as an eagle. But even as the rats that lived on scraps from the nearby temple raced away from her, she could not feel the footsteps of the creature she should be fleeing. She wondered what to do next. She stayed under the cactus for a long time, enjoying the heat of the ground, allowing her hooded eyes to move, but nothing else. She was almost invisible, she knew. She was faster than most other creatures, and her bite was venomous, devastating. She had nothing to fear. But still she did not feel safe. And she could not stay here a snake forever. She uncurled herself from the base of the cactus and moved into the shade of the cypresses. Suddenly, she reared up and transformed again. The zigzag on her scales fractured and became spots, the scales themselves softening to a coarse fur. Ears sprouted.